I started wearing hijab when I was between 13 and 14 years old. And what motivated me to do it is that it was actually, I used to be pretty active when I was in middle school and high school in these youth camps, Muslim Youth of North, MINA specifically, Muslim Youth of North America. And one time, one summer after 8th grade, it was the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I went to a MINA camp. And this particular MINA camp, for some reason, I just felt at the end of the camp, I wanted to change my life. I wanted to become more serious about my Islamic identity. And so at that time, I made a couple decisions. And one of those decisions was that I would be absolutely committed and regular to my prayers, to my salah. And because like a lot of middle schoolers, I was, on and off. And I decided at that point that I was going to be committed to my salah and I was never going to miss my salah. And then it was also at that time that I decided to wear hijab starting before the next school year. So I went into high school wearing hijab. So hijab to me means so many things. It's something that is absolutely a part of my identity now. But most of all, hijab is a symbol of my love of Allah, my love of God, my commitment to the fact that as a woman, I am not to be objectified. There's so much objectification of women in our society and in ads and in media, and I feel like my hijab is a symbol of empowerment in that it says, it's a symbol for me that represents that I am, what's most important about me is my relationship with my Creator. I'm not to be on display. I'm not a body. I'm not the external, but I am the internal. And it's a decision that I've made to put Allah first, to put my Creator first. And what is beautiful to my Creator is more important to me than what's beautiful to society. From the beginning of my journey with hijab, I feel that I've worn it from the beginning for the reasons that I still wear it today. It was actually a very funny story when I told my mother when I was like 13, 14 years old. I told her, oh, Mama, I'm gonna start wearing hijab, and her reaction was so funny. I still remember what she said. Her initial reaction was, I'm not forcing you. It was like, we're not forcing you. It was like, yeah, I know, Mama, I want to wear it. So it was just like this further emphasis of the fact that it was my decision. It wasn't anything coming from my society. It wasn't coming from my parents. It wasn't obviously coming from a husband. I was a kid, but it was just something from inside of myself. And so because I had that strong conviction that this is part of my path to God, and I continue to feel that way about it till today. I feel very, very blessed in that. I have this belief about the world around us, and that belief is that when you become very, very firm internally, when you become very firm and strong in your conviction internally, people see that. Like, you give off, people can tell whether you're confident, whether you're firm in what you're doing and what you believe in, or if you're not. And so I truly believe that what we need to do as women is, and as women and men really, is to be convinced and to have conviction in our faith and in our beliefs. And when we do that, what happens is no matter who it is, human beings have respect for that. There is a respect for a person, even when you agree with them, even if you disagree with them, but you respect their conviction. And so I think that as long as we are a people of conviction and strength, that comes off. And people, no matter who they are, in general, I've found they respect that. They respect a person who stands up for what they believe in and stays firm in it. One of the things I mentioned in the beginning was the salah, and I truly believe that there is a very strong link between our salah, our prayers, and everything else in our life, including hijab, including any other act of devotion. So what my advice would be to people considering putting it on or those considering taking it off is that make your foundation strong with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the best way to make that foundation strong is by building a strong relationship with your salah. And as long as a person does not compromise in that relationship, specifically the commitment to salah and salah on time, as long as a person stays firm in that, anything else will become easier. And that's a basic that I've learned and I teach, because either those who are just thinking about putting it on or those thinking about putting it off, taking it off, it's all linked to the salah. I truly believe that. I believe that that hijab is a symptom, in a sense. It's a symptom of our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, it's a manifestation. And it's one, and let me emphasize, it's one of many manifestations of our relationship with Allah. Because at the end of the day, it's one of many acts of devotion that we do for God. Why do we wear hijab? Because Allah said so. You know, people can give lots of reasons. Yes, I gave the benefits of showing basically making a statement that I'm not objectified. Obviously, that's a benefit. Modesty is a benefit. But what's the actual core reason that we wear hijab? Because Allah said so. And because we are slaves of Allah. And it's part of our sami'na wa ata'na, we hear and we obey. And so why I'm saying it's a manifestation of our devotion to Allah. And when a person gets to a point where they feel like they want to take it off or they're having trouble with it, you know, I've had people come to me and ask me that question. You know, and what advice do I give? And my advice, honestly, I don't talk about the hijab. I go back to the root. And the root is in the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, specifically in the salah. That if a person can strengthen the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that bond with Allah through the salah, then it will become easier to wear the hijab and to keep it on. And not just the hijab. Obviously, any act of worship will become easier when our bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is strong.